And there, friends and fans, Raptor here, and welcome to our first look at the demo for Folklands, a game coming sometime to Steam soon. That is, of course, everything that I love about all these types of city builders. If you're a big fan of Banished or Farthest Frontier, for example, or if you're a fan of The Settlers, a few things here that are present in this demo will certainly be familiar. Exploration, city and colony building, and, of course, even a little bit of PvP. Well, not in the demo, but I'm not sure how they're going to do it, whether or not it's going to actually contain combat or whatnot. I haven't seen anything like that in the actual Steam store page yet, or in the trailer, but it does say to make sure you keep your folks happy, employed, and safe. So I'm not exactly sure safe from what. Could be everything from Viking invasions to, I don't know, bears, or possibly players who might eventually get access to things like barracks and cavalry and towers and more, but who knows? This game certainly looked interesting, so I wanted to give it a try and try the demo for myself to see what it was all about. So if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. And if you're a returning subscriber, glory to Raptoria down below in the comment section too. I hope you're enjoying your week or your day so far. So leave a like if you'd like to see the full playthrough or more of this game when it's available further on Steam. And if you want to give it a try for yourself, again, look for Folklands, the name over there on the left side, and download today. They do have a demo available and a Steam store page that does not have a actual release date, just says coming soon. So it could be anywhere over the next few years. But I do hear that this is being worked on by a very small team, apparently 3 brothers. So, you know, everything that we see is subject to change, and I like everything I've seen so far. All right, well, let's jump in and take our first look at Folklands. Isn't it beautiful? We're building in the glorious lands of Raptoria, and we'll be playing with the tutorial on to give us some guidance on our goals as we build our first colony, our first settlement here in Folklands. Now, I'm immediately reminded of a game known, of course, as Anno, what was it, 1701, the first one from long ago, and some of the original Anno games. Now, we must set up our settlement and find a perfect place to build. We've got a lot of lakes here, and also what looks to be like a lot of areas with dirt and whatnot. And I've got to say, the graphics immediately remind me of a game that was very popular recently called Terra Nil, a kind of reverse Factorio where you're reclaiming and re-terraforming planets that have basically been destroyed from climate change and or just basically, well, bad things happening. And then, of course, you reclaim the planet and move on. So it's almost like we're building a city within those areas. Now, I'm not seeing any sort of rivers or large coastlines here, so I'm not sure if the full game will have any sort of like river or boat traffic, which would be amazing to be able to trade. That's one of the greatest things about Banished. But it does seem, at least looking at it, that our initial resources will be stone and wood, and also being concerned with fertility. So it looks like there'll be a little bit of farming, and where we build there will be important too. I think a perfect spot to build might be right up here. We could build a whole city right on this side. I like this area too. It's quite nice and open, but we want our resources a little closer. So let's go ahead and get started with our first settlement then, and we'll go ahead and start with this here. The settlement, that's where everyone's going to gather, where our construction materials will be stored, and of course where all of our builders will be. So let's go ahead and build that somewhere down here. Oh, look at that. Perfect spot. Perfect spot. Now, this circle around it, again, if you're familiar with the Settlers, that game also kind of has some borders where you must maintain, you know, like your business within the borders until you expand. So we can't go outside of that. And it almost looks like a palisade, too. So I'm going to build it almost to where it looks like a palisade as well when we first construct it. Let's build it like this. Now, again, this is not defensive at all, but I do want it to kind of look like that. And now it does look like we're building a wall in like Dawn of Man, for example. But yeah, this is just going to be the border of our initial settlement, to where now we're tasked with building a woodcutter and a stone mine. Let's do just that. So the woodcutter, of course, will cut logs, and then, of course, we'll need a sawmill in order to cut those into planks. So we'll build that right over here, our little logging camp right there. And a stone mine somewhere nearby. Lots of stone over there. That's a fantastic place for it, in fact. So we'll build it right over here. I think we'll just put it right within the actual, like, kind of crescent of stone. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and build... Oh, they want us to build roads now. Very well. Good idea. Let's go ahead and connect everything then via the roads. So we have our initial settlement here. One thing I really like, first of all, we can zoom in very close. And again, yes, it really does remind me of Terra Nil. And this settlement here will need to be connected on all sides. You can kind of see a road coming through it right there next to the tent itself. But there is storage, so this building does come with initial storage, and it does come with a little bit of ability to manage our settlement. So like Ostriv that way, the game set in about the 1700s in Ukraine, where you are basically settling a territory in the 1700s to which you must manage first like a little tent and a little camp, and then eventually grow into a bustling city as well. So some similarities to how things get started here. I'm going to go ahead and connect everything up at 90 degrees and see if we can first connect this building here and see how everybody goes out and starts building. But as you can see here under the settlement view, we can look under jobs to where we have 5 out of 15 transporters assigned and 1 out of 11 builders. Similar to how it works in Farthest Frontier, which is a hugely popular video series on this channel and a great game that I love playing. It looks like the most important thing is not necessarily the construction, but the building material delivery. So as you can see, we've got a few people already bringing down planks to the logging camp. And that's going to be the thing that holds us up the most, is how many materials need to be delivered and how quickly can they be delivered by our delivery team. So right now, all 3 of those delivery people, the transporters, have dropped off the planks, and the builder will come over and start construction on the building, to which it's kind of cordoned off by those small ropes there, and boom, we can see the building kind of phase in a little bit. I hope to see maybe perhaps some, I love it when they actually build with the frames, and there's an actual foundation that goes down and supporting beams and roofs and things, but, it's not too bad. I don't mind it. It's all good. Let's go ahead and build all the way over to the beach here, and then we'll build a little bit of a construction there up to our next destination, which is our quarry, our little stone mine. So our workers here should be logging already. Yep, we're already assigned 1 out of 2 workers for that. And it looks like we're also limited by how many tools we have. So I could possibly build more woodcutters to increase that limit from 2 to 4, but we're limited to just 3. So we could build another woodcutter, but we'd only be able to assign 3 total people to that. And the work area is tightly associated with that building too. So we could build another one over here on this right side and have another logging camp logging right away, but we would be limited. Same with the quarry. I'm imagining that we'd probably be limited via pickaxes, so we'll see how that goes too. Right, our people are wasting no time at getting all the materials right where they need to be for delivery for construction, and it looks like our builder's going to be working up there too as soon as he can. He's walking his way there, I suppose. Kind of tired after all that construction. I don't blame him. He needs a little bit of a break. Here we can see our raw materials in this game. We can mine and cut down and harvest raw materials, then we can turn them into processed goods and eventually have lots of different types of tools too. And it looks like there's a lot of options for food, including various types of meats, although I can't precisely see what they are. Some of these seem to be like bread, meat, and fish. Some of them might also be like berries and other completed meals. Tools, you can imagine, more than likely going to be things like hammers and axes and pickaxes, as well as scythes for the farms, for wheat farms and whatnot. And then, of course, basic raw materials such as the logs and maybe stone. And those seem to be able to be processed into planks, what seems to be maybe stone bricks, and then iron and gold later on. Looks like we're actually starting with 1,400 gold, too, in terms of coins. So gold might be able to be processed into currency we can use later, or might be used for some special building constructions. All right, looks like they want us to place down a sawmill, so let's go ahead and put that down somewhere near the actual logging camp itself. This large blue area, I'm not exactly sure if it needs to be within range of the logging camp itself to be effective, or if this is some sort of like a negative debuff area. But we'll try to build it a little further away from the town, perhaps. But for these purposes right now, with them telling us to build it near that, we're going to go ahead and put it close by, I think. But if we can, we'll move it somewhere else. So let's go ahead and put it just right across the street. And hopefully they'll be able to build that. And it looks like we might block the road for that one. So let's see what happens if we want to move it. Building paused, no. Oh, okay. So we can pause a building's construction, or we can demolish a building like we just did there. Okay, so that's nice to know for options for the future. We also, of course, have a forester building unlocked, so they'll replace or regrow and replant some of those trees too. And I wonder if there's options for the sawmill to be able to limit them to cut down specific trees. All trees in sight, turning them into logs. Okay, so there seems to be no controls over what kind of trees we cut down. So it'll be a good idea to build a forester there soon enough. Okay, looks like everybody's getting tuckered out. Yeah, I'd imagine. And it looks like, hey, we're already cutting down stone. Looks like there's already a stone there, and whoever's assigned to stone mining is doing a good job of storing that somewhere nearby. All right, more jobs means less laziness. So let's continue to build as much as we can. More people bringing over materials. Everybody's tired, I know. We're going to have to then build some homes for them to rest, but we don't have those unlocked just yet. Let's take a look around the map. I'm not seeing any sort of elevation in the map. This reminds me, of course, of Pharaoh as well, Emperor, Rise of the Middle Kingdom, or even Caesar. But I would like to see some more elevation here and other things in the future. Hopefully that's what we get in the full game, as well as perhaps some points of interest where there would be raging rivers or perhaps like a large ravine or something like that, which would be great to build defenses around if we eventually get to do that, utilizing the land to our advantage, not only economic-wise, but also military. Now, it looks like there's a lot of great fertile land up here, so I'm imagining we're going to build like a wheat farm or maybe some carrots or something here, and then expand the city here. I'm already kind of building in my mind, even though we're restricted by the game's time that it's taking now to build the sawmill, but it needed those valuable materials of stone. So we've already got a worker there who's delivered more stone to the work area next to the stone mine. And look at that, our transporters have immediately brought down a lot of materials that are needed there. But I'm seeing a lot of lazy bones, so let's go ahead and increase our worker numbers here a little bit. Let's see if we can go up to 10 for transportation and 2 for building, and see what that does for us. But it looks like the builder's coming in right away and getting to work. Love the music, too. Certainly seems triumphant and bold. Heroic, if you will. And that would be another thing I would love to see, too, is an early hero or some hunter units or something, a scout, to go out and fight bears and wolves and other threats to the city. Now we're being tasked with building houses. Things are starting to roll now. We're going to get people into the city and finally start getting some jobs taken care of. All right, we got some homes we can construct. So I do want to keep a little bit away from the sawmill. We'll err on the side of caution there. And let's build a set of homes, maybe more like this. Can we actually fit these here? Kind of hard to tell the square size without the grid. I kind of want to build them here. I don't want to build them on the grass. We want to conserve all the fertile soil that we can. But I'll build these homes like this. There we go. Perfect. We'll do 4 homes down here. Wow, they actually look like they're made primarily out of stone, which is interesting for an initial build. They certainly will insulate a lot better than wood will, but I was imagining that we would first see some sort of a log cabin, as I've seen in some of the promotional art for this game, which again was made by only just apparently 3 brothers, a very small team, and I'm happy to see that a lot more games again, like Manor Lords coming soon, and this game, and many others that are just made either by small teams that are passionate about other types of games, such as Farthest Frontier being made by the same folks who made a game called Grim Dawn, and or just indie devs who somehow scraped together some money to make something like this. It's certainly great to see some of these newer games that remind us all of the old classics that might still be around and thriving and kicking today, such as I mentioned, Anno 1701, or really just the Anno franchise, which is fantastic, which, again, all of those must add up to 9, so I really don't know where one of my favorite, colony builders right now is Anno 1800. It's really amongst some of the best of going from the pre-Industrial Revolution to the Industrial Revolution, almost into what feels like the 20s, but I have no idea where the devs would go from there. I have no idea what the next game would be. So I'm really curious to see what other indie devs will do in the meantime to hold us over for other games. It looks like we have ourselves 1 unemployed person, as they call them, folks, and it looks like we've got 4 people with homes, although we've got 16 people in the settlement. Wait a minute. We're building 4 homes. We don't have 4 homes. Or unless 4 people live in this tent and everybody else has got to sleep outside. Boy, there must be a lot of resentment inside the settlement so far. Oh, wait a minute. 4 people can live at each of these homes. Okay, very cool. Now, it looks like we need to supply them with some basic goods, so it looks like maybe some sort of food, berries, or a cooking pot of some sort, and then also water. So there might be a reason to build a well shortly. Another building. Cool. Weird, it's a combination of hobbits and, like, Swedes. I don't know why it looks like a Viking home or some sort of an early Scandinavian home, but I do like that quite a bit. Let's speed up our game a little bit now, as we're kind of just waiting for materials to come in. We'll go ahead and dismiss the map navigation too, and we're just waiting for construction material for these homes. So I guess our building is limited now by how quickly materials can be delivered. And let's also actually let's slow down just for a moment and unassign some people from our settlement building We'll just call that the town hall for a town tent, I guess. We'll go back to a few people there. We'll double the number of miners and loggers doing their work. And then hopefully we can get all the materials gathered much more quickly. There we go. All right, cool. Well, as you can imagine, we're probably going to build a windmill. That'll probably take planks, and home upgrades, if and when they happen, will probably take more refined materials too. So we might actually be using wooden logs. Well, actually, I don't even know if we needed logs, but we might use logs, but more than likely planks in the future. Okay, I think everything's good, so let's speed things up again. And we got people taking planks in there. I think we need more stone. That's what it is. Yeah, we see the transporters bringing down stone for these folks. And it looks like 3 wood. So that would be the recipe. So the biggest bottleneck right now is the stone mine itself, the stone quarry. So now we got 3 unemployed, so we'll keep an eye on that. Having a few unemployed is okay since we're about to open up another industry shortly. It could be actually fishing, maybe, is one of our next ones. And we'll have to see if there's seasons that will come through. There's our settlement tab. Our statistics tab for, this must be desirability for tax income. And then also disasters. So it looks like we're okay. So green on what looks to be disasters, a building on fire. And, this is taxation here. And fire hazard, okay. I'd also imagine taxation would more than likely be the happier the people are, the more happy they would be paying higher tax. So that's totally fine too. Place a well on a grass tile and a berry hut near some trees. Okay, now we're actually getting some first food going. So it's berries, so we're gathering. Well, here we have a well. Well. And it can't be placed on the dirt, so we must place it up here. Nearby. I think that'll be fine. See if we can build a road around that. There we go. And we also need to build that berry hut. So the berry hut is under the second tab here. Berries sweet and juicy, full of goodness. Baskets full of them, ready to pick. Now, I don't see any actual berry bushes anywhere. So I guess we can harvest from wherever we want. And this is a pretty good spot here, an open area with lots of fertility. I think we're going to build that right over here. We have a winner. We'll make a quick connection back to the road here. There we go. And we'll build that path up there too. Perfect. So more construction and more materials being gathered rather quickly too. Look at how quickly those 2 loggers have millers have milled those into planks. Uh-oh. Looks like fairly soon we'll have to move our woodcutter. He's going to run out of wood eventually. We'll have to scoot that down the road to go to the source. A few more trees down here, though. I would like to keep these for decorative purposes, and it is nice that we have seemingly a river or a bay here. That's nice. Wow, this is great. We got a lot of materials gathered, so a lot of stone and a lot of planks already. That's great. Fantastic. And everyone should have a home, yeah. So I feel like we should build another house just to see if we can get the population to expand, but more importantly, we should make sure we take care of the food first, and then maybe something along the lines of medical or defense. We'll see shortly. Everybody just hanging out outside? I wonder what they're talking about. The stars, maybe? Love the look of the homes. I hope that we can get different, perhaps, folk in the future. Perhaps we can get, I would love to see, if this is a Viking settlement, I'd love to see something that appears to be more French, or maybe more, maybe Japanese or Germanic. Be kind of cool to be able to see all the different architectural styles for the buildings. And I've seen that in other games, like, for example, Kingdoms Reborn, and a few others that do allow you to pick kind of a background. Now we can build a market. Perfect. Well, let's put down some food then. A good spot for that would more than likely be right up here by the well. All right. Let everybody go up to the well and gather food and water. There we go. That'll be a quick fix. So now the berry hut is ready. 3 people can pick berries there. I guess even though there's not bushes, they might either plant those or it's just kind of maybe suggested or intended that they pick from the ground or something else. I'm not sure. But to be able to feed a population of 16 people, you're going to certainly need a lot of berries. Oh, it looks like there's little mushrooms next to the house. I like the details here. It's kind of hard to see the roads. I do hope we can actually upgrade these to stone. Cobblestone roads would be great to speed up transportation. Wow, this looks like a graveyard. Lots of stones there. Hey, more logs being cut. Fantastic. Oh, a little voice acting there too. All right. Establishing the settlement. Click on the market and assign water and berries to the slots in the tabs. That's kind of weird. The marketplace, wow, that completely moved from where I thought it would. It looked like there were 2 squares here and here that it would occupy, but it's scooted all the way over here and seems to be facing... I don't know. It's going to need a little work on that one, but we do need to put down water. We're selling water to people and berries. Job done. Good. All right, assign another merchant. All right, cool. Now we got people selling water and berries. And now they want us to do tax collecting. All right. So let's build a tax collector's office maybe right up here. And our people will waste no time getting to work on that. We have no additional workers available. So let's cut back on mining a little bit. We'll probably have to assign somebody shortly to be a tax collector. And more than likely, we're going to have to build another woodcutter to be able to take advantage of all those trees in the back. I'm pretty sure, unless... Well, all right, let's go ahead and let this building work until it's out of range. Perhaps that's optimal range, and our people maybe can walk further to go to an inefficient range, but still be able to produce, which is okay if we're stockpiling. That's totally fine. All right, so tax collector is next. Yep, everybody's bringing those stones. Nice. Oh, yeah, look at that. Perfect. So the building's recipe requires, well, we're at 3 out of 5 stone bricks now, and we're at 2 out of 2 planks. So that's good. So far, so good, for sure. I have the habit of hitting escape in order to try to close those menus, which it wouldn't be a bad idea to quick save, just in case. Cool. All right. 550 gold, 30 planks, 20 stone bricks. That's good. Let's go back to the settlement. I think we're going to go with what we've got here. This is totally fine. Yeah, once the building begins, it's fairly quick. The person, whoever's in charge of building, is able to do it just within a matter of seconds. And there's our tax building. Now they want us to build a storage somewhere near the sawmill. There we go. Buildings won't have to sit outside anymore. That's good. Let's build it somewhere over here. There we go. And what I'd like to do is maybe build a forestry building here. Rather than building another sawmill, why don't we build a forester there and let him be in the middle of the forest while he plants more trees for our log cutter. Perfect. Now, can we make prioritization on buildings? Here we can pause a building's construction, but I don't see a way to actually give it a higher or lower priority. Alright, we're just watching now to see where they go. So they've already delivered the planks. Yeah, the biggest thing now is the stones. So hopefully when the storage is complete, we can store stone in the town where a lot of the construction is taking place. I think our next construction project is probably going to be expanding food in the population, so it's likely that we'll be asked to build some sort of a farm, maybe a livestock pen, and then eventually a windmill or a butcher or something like that, or even a fishing dock, and then maybe eventually a fishmonger that can fillet all the fish to then sell them at the market. We'll see where that goes. All right, let's speed up time again. We're just waiting on the forester and the newly ordered storage building. All right, cool. Storage is connected on all sides. And it looks like construction's about ready to begin on the forester building. Look at that. Very nice. And somebody auto-assigned to work there. And we have somebody working as a tax collector already, too. Now they want us to assign 10 planks to storage and 10 stones to storage, too. We're going to need somebody as a transporter, but now we're going to start storing stuff there. So let's do planks, as they mentioned. And stone. I would do logs, but they pretty quickly get made into other things, so... And assign 2 transporters. So let's assign people from the town hall to there. So instead of transporting construction materials to the construction site, they'll now take things from the production buildings. Place enough fire stations to cover all your buildings. Oh, wow. All right. Well, we've kind of spread out a little bit. Let's take a look. We're now working on fire protection via the fire station. And unfortunately, looks like we're going to have to build a couple buildings for that. Well, we could build one here next to the sawmill. Makes sense, right? It's going to probably be flammable with all that sawdust and other things kicking around. There we go. Hopefully we can put a decoration there. I just wanted to kind of make it match that building. We're going to need one for the quarry unless just building a fire station is okay. Alright, looks like all the materials are on their way. Beautiful. Ah, and those trees are growing really quickly. Wow, the forester almost looks like they just planted a completely new tree. I feel like at this point we can move the sawmill and the logging camp a little further outside of the city, so in retrospect and in future builds we'll have to make sure we do that. But then again, we're also dictated by the resources themselves, and that just makes sense. Allow building upgrades from the settlement overview screen. Oh, new people are going to move in. Now, the settlement overview screen, where did we see that before? That is this screen here, yeah, okay. So allow houses to upgrade, yes. Perfect. And now place an outpost to expand your borders. All right. Well, now we're growing. I guess there's kind of only 2 ways to go, either to the right or to the left. To the left we have more farmland, to the right we have more logs, but I think we're okay on the logs now. So let's go for farmland. So we're building an outpost. Is there any sort of military units associated with this? A lookout tower to expand your settlement borders. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and build that on the absolute edge, where we'll get a lot more territory from that. Actually, right there would be a good spot. Okay. And then we can connect a road to that. Nice that the roads are quick and easy and immediate to build. But I would appreciate an upgrade to be able to use more stone in the future, to then get a reward for upgrading those buildings. Workers now bringing over all the planks needed for the tower, and that should expand us all the way to pretty much the edge of that forest there, and all that fertile ground. Can be some good food for us. Now, when our people get 5 berries and 5 water, hopefully that's what will get them to upgrade their homes. I'm seeing the merchants doing some of their deliveries. 1 water buckets and no berries. Yeah, berries are a little light, I guess. We could probably assign more people to that task, but also farming will be more than likely more effective, although the berries probably come in year-round, as they are harvestable more than likely spring and summer and maybe even fall, with the winter being something where we'd have to turn towards all the bread or grain that we might produce for the winter months, or maybe even cheese. Maybe it's like Farthest Frontier that way. Good to see everything getting stored right away. Very good to see. Alright, I see a lot of stone still being mined. Wow, look at the planks being gobbled up here. What is the... Wow, 10 out of 10 on that one. Jeez. And there goes the construction of the expansion. Of our outpost. Beautiful. Build a wheat farm on open grassland. Well, there we go. A new task right on the edge. Oh, literally a wheat farm. 4 logs, 2 stone, and 150 to build. Oh, wow. We got lots of room to build multiple farms. Great. I do like how we have full rotation as well. Looks like we can pretty much rotate 360 with the appearance of the farm. I like that. Let's build that one there. And we'll build a little dirt road. So the townsfolk also don't seem to take those roads. They just go whatever way is the shortest route possible, or the fastest way to deliver those materials. And the recipe here, wow, wheat farm, only 4 planks and 2 stone. That's nothing. I thought that would be such a much more vast recipe to build that barn, but I guess no. We got a fire station and no fires, and it doesn't look like we had to get the stone mine into that as well, but I think it's okay. If that burns down, I think that'll probably be something pretty easy to replace. Look at that, the forestry building doing a great job, keeping up as best it can with those eager logging teams. And look at that. Now we've got some logs and planks stored too. Let's go ahead and increase our storage on stuff. I think we can go ahead and do... Oh, storage capacity is only 30, so let's do 15 and 15. They now want us to build a windmill near the wheat farm. And the capacity on storage is rather low. So let's do 15 planks and 15 stone. And now we can build a big windmill too. So obviously the windmill has to be placed away from the farm fields. So let's just build it over here maybe. Oh, there seems to be something there, but we can build on top of that. And now we need to build something called a bakery to be able to start producing our own bread. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so we'll connect with the edge of this windmill. And we'll see if that can connect up. That might connect after they're done delivering materials and finish the building itself. Now the bakery. Let's build that over here. Somewhere in town, I think. Maybe up here would be nice. Actually, somewhere near the well. And the bakery's going to have fire in order to, you know, bake the bread. So next to the fire department might be a good idea too, although there's nobody working there. We're going to have to start modifying some of our jobs here shortly. Let's slow down on the number of loggers. And we'll try to make that person a miller. We're also going to need room for farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Oh, what's going on here? When low on money, folks will return home to fulfill, or to refill. A full stomach means more time to work. Oh, when they're low on energy. My bad. So for whatever reason, I thought that said money. I guess I was also kind of paying attention to our... It was a subconscious slip as I basically was looking at our cash there to see what we need to build next. But we should have the money to do it. Oh, looks like we can go out the top there. And there goes the mill. Oh, Dutch breathing intensifies. Nice to see. All right, so we've got one person working at the mill. We've got nobody working at the farm. Anybody working at the outpost? No one has to work at the outpost. Okay. Let's go down to one transporter now. And let's get them to work at the farm. And we'll also need somebody to work at the bakery. So, oof, boy. Lots of stuff going on there, huh? Well, we've got 15 planks in storage. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the sawmill for now. We're going to keep logs coming in. We're going to keep the forestry unit growing those still too. I'm going to take a few people off some of these jobs to reorganize a few things. Alright, so I want to try to make as much wheat as possible so that way we can have enough flour to make a ton of bread for our first year. Now, we only have 16 people in the town, so far so good. I guess they're able to survive off berries, but not very good. Some of the homes just... I guess they don't have any in storage. It's just enough to get everybody fed, and so they eat, and the homes really don't have an abundance. Although, it looks like the small little well is producing enough at the same time. Now, that's probably going to be used by the bakery at the same time, too. We'll see what the recipe requires. Yep. So lots of water is needed there. Smart for our placement there. Love the look of the bakery. Really a nice looking building. All right. So now we're just waiting on the bakery, I suppose, the wheat farm, to make wheat for the flour from the mill to then be able to do what the bakery needs to do. So as we wait, I'd love to build some more houses and see if that'll allow people to move in. But I'm not entirely sure if they would. But regardless, let's give it a try. Homes seem rather small. At the start, which means that they more than likely will look quite large when they upgrade. Let's try a 3-home upgrade. That'll be a good investment of our materials here. Okay. We're going to build a few more homes to try to get more workers here. Seems to be the biggest bottleneck right now is trying to optimize and increase the efficiency to maximum of all of our different workers and their different buildings. And by that, we're going to have to add more hands. So we'll see if more people want to move in. And that, of course, means more tax dollars, but will mean more food, but we'll put them to work right away in the farm. And then see if we can maybe build another farm. We'll have to see what the ratio is for wheat to flour. A lot of games it's like 2 wheat equals 1 flour, and then 2 flour equals 1 bread, that kind of thing. We'll see how it all breaks down. I've seen it before in games like Foundation, I think Farthest Frontier, and even Anno 1800, I think. So there's certainly a lot of things to do to get everybody fed. Wow, magically the population just went up to 24 out of 24, so now we've got 8 people free to work on pretty much everything we need them to do. So that's great. However, it looks like we're limited at the farm by the scythes. I did forget about the tools, so that's a very important thing. We'll get people working back at the at the mine. We'll get another transporter working. I think we can get another logger then. And we can get somebody cutting down, or rather working on the planks. Oh, thank you for trying the demo, the review build. We hope you enjoyed it. In the full game, you can enjoy several other production chains, such as tool making, meat production, brewing, and more. In addition, several other features such as trading, higher tiers, and more demands, cross-platform multiplayer, and a lot more. Cross-platform multiplayer? What? Does that mean, like, could that be Mac and PC? Which I guess would just still mean to me Steam. Cross-platform, I think, would mean more like, I don't know, Nintendo Switch or like a PlayStation or something. But this would also be a fairly good Switch game, too. I mean, a Steam Deck game. In addition to several other features, you can continue to play if you encounter issues. Feel free to contact us on Discord. Ah, okay, so this is the end of all the new stuff that we can build. So we can go for like a high population challenge, but that might be where the multiplayer comes in. So how will multiplayer play out? Do we, A, get a large map and then have different, everybody gets a corner and then they can expand and kind of fight it out to who can expand the fastest and or take over other territory by doing it that way? B, does everybody not see each other and the only multiplayer is really just boats and things that come in or trades that come in from off map, or maybe we don't even see the vehicles bringing in food and whatnot and we just trade through a trade depot, and so the only multiplayer is tied to people running deals within the actual market? Or is it going to be some sort of a combination of both where, for example, maybe two players play on a map where they can play cooperatively and not fight on one map versus other players who can do the same on another? I don't know. But it certainly says PvP, so I certainly imagine some sort of combat or something here. Pretty cool, actually. Not a bad demo. I certainly want to expand and build a lot more, but it is what it is. I have today for Folklands, but I hope you all enjoyed it, so I'd like to know every thought that you have right now down below in the comments section for the game, for the channel, for city builders, colony builders, survival games, and much more. Let me know some other games you want me to play on the channel, some that perhaps I've played before that you'd like me to take a look at again, and or games that are upcoming that still yet are on the way, maybe that don't even have a demo or that are coming soon, such as City Skylines 2. Let me know everything that you've enjoyed here today and some things that perhaps you wish were different. And let me know if you'll download the demo. I'm really curious to know if you would download this one and give it a try for yourself. Keep in mind that you can play much further than I have today and build and fill in all the different areas that you could settle, with more features coming soon. And again, the free Steam demo certainly is a good thing as well. All right, everyone. Well, thank you very much for subscribing, turning on that notification bell. Thank you very much for hitting that like button, and thank you very much for becoming members, clicking and tap and join. For the price of a small fry at McDonald's, you can make me a big cheese. So thank you very much for all your support. I hope you've all enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again sometime in the future in these videos, live streams, and more. Don't forget to join our Discord for giveaways and whatnot, and I'll see you all next time. Follow Instagram and Twitter. Links down below.